Ho, ho, ho! Merry Vlogmas!
Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Griffin, and this is Griffin Projects, day number 4 of Vlogmas. Woohoo! We're just getting ramped up, baby. Today we're going to be talking about gifts for the burgeoning woodworker or DIYer, like the person in your life that's just starting to kind of get into it. And I think that that is a fantastic thing for them, and you should totally support it because pretty soon you're going to have about 50 not completed projects just laying around your home, and it's going to be freaking fantastic. With that being said, you also will have like the 1 or 2 projects that are actually done. So I mean, it's kind of a win-win, sort of. Anyway, a little background on who I am. My name's Griffin. I'm a mid-30-year-old technologist by trade, and I started doing woodworking and making like 3 to 4 years ago, and I started out doing my first projects in a public park with rented tools from Home Depot. That progressed to a shared maker space, then a shared shop space, and now I have my own workshop all by myself in an industrial building here in Chicago. Everything I'm recommending, I know, I've used, and love. The final note before I get started is I'm gonna be recommending certain brands that I know, use, and trust, and that's it. There are other brands out there, so I've heard, that might be just as good, but they most certainly aren't better. So, with that being said, I would say you could get a different brand from ones that I recommend, but the thing I will promise is if you do buy the brands that I recommend, the person you buy it for will not be disappointed. Fair warning. All right, number 1 is clamps. It's a huge thing in the maker space, especially the woodworking space. You can never have too many clamps. It's true. You can never have too many clamps. I don't know why. And I have so many clamps, but in my brain, I'm like, you know, I could use some 40-inch ones, maybe a couple more 24-inch ones, maybe a 36 here or there. Like, there's just never enough clamps. It makes a perfect gift. The brand that I'm gonna recommend is obviously the best one, which is Bessey. I would say an honorable mention to Irwin because I do have a couple of them. Number 2 is an apron. I know it sounds weird. Beginners, you just don't think, you're like, I have so many other things to buy, like, which is why this is a perfect gift for a beginner, because it turns out having an apron is so nice. Even if you're just kind of a hobbyist, it still comes in so clutch. And you can have aprons that are like full length. You can have some aprons that are just like half, like the bottom, like just kind of like a tool belt almost. Hands down, great beginner gift. Number 3 is a nice drill set. A lot of beginners start with like a Black & Decker from Target or something like that. Those are absolutely fine. They're gonna be able to drill a hole in drywall to put an anchor in, no problem whatsoever. And in fact, drilling into wood, they're gonna be fine. The real reason of upgrading from like a Black & Decker, for say, to a Milwaukee is the fact that Milwaukee just has so many options for tools. And yes, there's other brands, but we know they're just not as good as Milwaukee. So I would highly recommend Milwaukee brand tool set. If you want to get a nicer one, you get Brushless. That's what you're looking for. If you're looking for like more budget, but still want to get into investing in a better, bigger brand and like their tool set and all that stuff, I would say going with a non-brushless just as good. Number 4 is a nice toolbox. When I got started, toolbox was pretty much a box, a grocery store bag, this or that book bag. I used it a lot. Let me tell you that when you start getting going with making and woodworking, it's just something that you don't think is that important. Buying your next drill bit or your next tool purchase or whatever is definitely taking precedent at the time, which is why this is such a good gift. A nice toolbox. Milwaukee makes this PACKOUT series. It's absolutely phenomenal. In fact, one of the toolboxes is like a big ass box that you can put all sorts of tools, clamps, all these different materials and tools and all the things on, and it has wheels and you can roll it around. It is so convenient. I think about when I started, I'm like, why didn't I just get one of those instead? But like I said, I had other things I was focusing on. Number 5 is the last gift recommendation that I'm gonna make before I do like a rapid fire stocking stuffer type gifts. And it's a big one, okay? It's for the person in your life that's kind of getting ramped up doing some sort of woodworking, and maybe they already have this type of tool, but it was like bought off of Craigslist or a hand-me-down or whatever, and they're looking for an upgrade. And that upgrade would be to their table saw. I would say buying them a SawStop, Jobsite saw, or a Contractor saw is an excellent step up from a hand-me-down job site saw or a super cheap $90 job site saw off Craigslist or something like that. There is just no better brand out there for a table saw because the brake technology, where if it detects any contact with human skin, it stops within like 5 or 7 milliseconds. It's a freaking finger saver. There's just no other option in my opinion. You get that gift for the person you love. It doesn't get any better than that. Those are the top 5 gift giving ideas that I got for you today, but I don't want to leave you without at least a couple recommendations for stocking stuffers. So let's do a rapid fire session, starting with number 1, a specialty small screwdriver set. Whew, that's a mouthful, but here's the thing. We've all been there where we have a screw, it has like a weird star with a like thing in the middle, or you know, and it's just a small ass screw. I would say getting a nice small screwdriver set. I'll have a couple linked down below. Number 2, kind of in the same vein, is a nice Allen key set. The one I'm gonna recommend is the one on your screen, which is made by Pedro. The brand primarily does bike tools, but let me just tell you, this Allen key set, it comes in so clutch. Number 3 rapid fire is a self-centering drill bit. You may not know what it means. You don't have to know what it means. Just go to the link down below, buy 1 or 2 of them, and give it to the maker in your life. They will not be disappointed. It's a great stocking stuffer. Number 4 rapid fire is a combination square. Now they might already own this, but sometimes it gets lost in the crack of buying new tools or for certain projects. You just happen to not buy a combination square. So if you go through their stuff, you find out, hey, they don't have whatever this thing looks like. That's a combination square. You can buy them. The price goes across the board. You can find them for like 10 bucks online. You can spend probably over 100 bucks on it. Either way, another great stocking stuffer. Don't worry about getting one over 6 inches. Don't think it's necessary. They make them in all sorts of different sizes, but I would say anything 6 inches or less. Number 5 on the rapid fire stocking stuffer gift list, it comes from a company here actually in Chicago called DFM Tool Works. JT's the owner. The tools that they make, second to none. Easily the most used tool in my shop is their small carpenter square. I have a few other speed squares. I have a 6-inch, 12-inch, like I have some speed squares. Easily my go-to, always in my apron, always next to me, always on every single project, checking for square, marking a line, is easily the DFM Tool Works small carpenter square. I'll link that down below. Well, that's it. Those are my lists for new woodworker / makers in your life. I hope you enjoyed them. If you did, make sure you like the video down below. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that too. I'd love to see you come back here for more of the videos for Vlogmas. And lastly, I would ask if you think someone in your life might like the video, if you share it with them, I'd be really appreciative of that. Day number 4 of Vlogmas in the books. It's done. Wrap it up, send it out, and I will see you tomorrow.